Have you ever wondered what makes the world we live in today possible? From the spark of fire to the power of the internet, humanity's greatest inventions have shaped the course of history and transformed how we live, work, and connect. In this video, we'll journey through the top 10 most important inventions of all time. Creations that not only changed their own eras but continue to define ours. Let's dive in and uncover the stories behind these revolutionary ideas. 10th on our list is the steam engine, a revolutionary invention that powered the Industrial Revolution and forever changed the way we live and work. Imagine a world before electricity or automobiles, a world where human and animal labor were the primary sources of power. The steam engine transformed this reality, laying the foundation for the modern industrialized world. The first practical steam engine was invented by Thomas Newcomen in 1712, originally used to pump water out of mines. While effective, it wasn't until James Watt improved the design in the late 18th century that the steam engine reached its full potential. Watt's innovations, such as the separate condenser, made the engine more efficient, opening the door to countless applications beyond mining. But why is the steam engine so important? It's simple. It provided a reliable, powerful, and portable source of energy. Factories, once limited to locations near water sources, could now be built anywhere. This led to the rise of industrial cities and a dramatic increase in productivity. Industries like textiles, transportation, and manufacturing were revolutionized, creating jobs and fueling economic growth. Let's talk about transportation for a moment. The steam engine gave birth to the locomotive and the steamship, shrinking the world in ways never before imagined. Goods could be transported quickly and efficiently, connecting markets and fostering global trade. The rise of railroads also transformed travel, allowing people to move faster and farther than ever before. But the steam engine wasn't just about economics. It changed the very fabric of society. Urbanization exploded as people flocked to industrial centers in search of work. The Industrial Revolution brought new opportunities, but it also created challenges, such as overcrowded cities and harsh working conditions. So, why does the steam engine deserve a spot on this list? It wasn't just a technological breakthrough. It was a catalyst for change, a spark that ignited a global transformation. Without it, the modern world as we know it wouldn't exist. And that's why the steam engine sits at number 10 on our list. Let's move on to number 9, where another groundbreaking invention awaits. 9th on our list is the telephone, a device that brought the world closer together and revolutionized how humans communicate. Imagine living in a world where long-distance communication relied on letters that could take days, weeks, or even months to reach their destination. The telephone changed everything, making instant communication across vast distances possible for the first time. The story of the telephone begins in the 1870s with Alexander Graham Bell, who is often credited with its invention. Bell's first successful transmission of speech, "Mr. Watson, come here, I want to see you," took place in 1876 and marked the beginning of a new era. While Bell played a significant role, other inventors like Elisha Gray and Antonio Musi also contributed to the development of this transformative technology. At its core, the telephone converts sound waves into electrical signals that travel along wires and are then converted back into sound waves on the receiving end. It sounds simple today, but at the time, it was groundbreaking. For the first time, people could communicate in real time, regardless of distance. But why is the telephone so important? It didn't just make life more convenient. It transformed economies, businesses, and personal relationships. Businesses no longer had to rely on written correspondence or in-person meetings, enabling faster decision-making and expanding markets. Families could stay connected even when separated by thousands of miles, shrinking the emotional distance between loved ones. The telephone also paved the way for further advancements in communication technology. It laid the groundwork for the development of the radio, television, and eventually the Internet. Each of these technologies owes a debt to the original concept of transmitting sound and data over long distances. Think about how the telephone evolved. From the early switchboards operated by human operators to rotary phones, touch-tone phones, and eventually mobile phones, the technology has continuously adapted to meet the needs of an ever-changing world. Today, we carry smartphones, miniature computers capable of doing far more than just making calls. Of course, the telephone also had its challenges. In its early years, telephone lines were limited, and the technology was expensive, making it accessible only to the wealthy. Over time, however, innovation and mass production made telephones affordable and widespread, turning them into an essential part of daily life. So, why does the telephone earn its place on this list? It wasn't just an invention, it was a revolution. It changed how we connect, how we do business, and how we live our lives. It's hard to imagine the modern world without it. And that's why the telephone takes the 9th spot on our list. Let's move forward to number 8, where another transformative invention awaits. 8th on our list is the compass, a simple yet transformative invention that revolutionized navigation and opened the world to exploration. Before the compass, explorers relied on the stars, landmarks, and rudimentary maps to find their way, a method that worked well enough until the skies were cloudy or the terrain unfamiliar. The compass changed all of that, providing a reliable way to determine direction no matter the conditions. The origins of the compass can be traced back to ancient China, around the 11th century, during the Song dynasty. Early compasses were made from naturally magnetized iron ore, called lodestone, and were used for divination and geomancy before being adapted for navigation. By the 12th century, the technology had reached Europe and the Islamic world, where it became an essential tool for sailors. So, how does a compass work? It's simple yet ingenious. The Earth's magnetic field interacts with a magnetized needle, aligning it to point toward the magnetic poles. This basic principle allows travelers to know which way is north, south, east, or west, even in the middle of the ocean or vast deserts. The compass didn't just make navigation easier, it made exploration possible. It enabled sailors to venture into uncharted waters with confidence, fueling the age of exploration. Without the compass, iconic journeys like Christopher Columbus's voyage to the Americas or Vasco da Gama's journey to India might never have happened. But why is the compass so important? Think about the impact it had on trade and cultural exchange. By opening up sea routes, the compass connected distant parts of the world, allowing goods, ideas, and people to flow across continents. The Silk Road may have linked east and west by land, but the compass made global trade by sea a reality. The compass also played a crucial role in warfare. Armies and navies used it to navigate battlefields and oceans, gaining strategic advantages over their enemies. In many ways, the compass was as much a tool of conquest as it was of exploration. Fast forward to today, and the compass still holds a place in modern navigation. While GPS technology has largely replaced traditional compasses, the underlying principles remain the same. Even now, every smartphone has a built-in digital compass, a testament to the enduring relevance of this ancient invention. So, why does the compass deserve its place on this list? It wasn't just an instrument, it was a key to unlocking the world. By making navigation reliable, the compass enabled the discovery of new lands, the expansion of trade, and the exchange of cultures that shaped the modern world. And that's why the compass takes the 8th spot on our list. Up next is number 7, where another groundbreaking invention awaits to be explored. 7th on our list is the wheel, one of humanity's most fundamental and transformative inventions. It's so basic that we often take it for granted, yet the wheel is the foundation of countless technologies and has shaped the course of civilization itself. But how did such a simple invention become so vital to human progress? The story of the wheel begins around 3500 BCE in ancient Mesopotamia. Early wheels weren't used for transportation. They were first employed in pottery, helping artisans shape clay more efficiently. It wasn't until later that wheels were attached to carts, revolutionizing agriculture, trade, and travel. The genius of the wheel lies not just in its circular shape but in the axle that allows it to rotate smoothly, reducing friction and making it easier to move heavy loads. Think about this. Before the wheel, transporting goods or materials required immense effort, often relying on sledges or human and animal labor. The invention of the wheel changed everything. Carts and wagons equipped with wheels made it possible to move larger loads over longer distances with much less effort. This innovation fueled the growth of trade, enabling societies to exchange goods, ideas, and culture more easily. But the wheel wasn't just about transportation. It became a cornerstone of engineering and mechanics. From water wheels used to grind grain and generate power to spinning wheels for textiles, the wheel found applications in almost every aspect of daily life. Even today, the principles of the wheel are used in everything from engines to modern machinery. Let me ask you this. Can you imagine a world without wheels? No cars, no trains, no airplanes landing smoothly on runways. The wheel's versatility and simplicity have made it indispensable, not just in ancient times but in every era since. Over time, the wheel evolved. Early wooden wheels gave way to metal wheels, and eventually, rubber tires were introduced during the Industrial Revolution, further improving transportation. Today, we see wheels in high-speed trains, airplanes, and even spacecraft, proving that this ancient invention still drives modern innovation. The wheel also played a crucial role in warfare. Chariots, one of the first military vehicles, relied on wheels to provide speed and mobility on the battlefield. These innovations gave ancient armies a strategic advantage, changing the way wars were fought. So, why does the wheel earn its place on this list? It's not just about its historical significance, it's about its enduring impact. The wheel didn't just change how we move, it changed how we live, work, and build. It's a symbol of human ingenuity, proof that even the simplest ideas can have profound effects. And that's why the wheel takes the 7th spot on our list. Now, let's move to number 6, where yet another transformative invention awaits exploration. 6th on our list is electricity, the invisible force that powers our modern world. Think about it. Without electricity, we wouldn't have lights, smartphones, computers, or even this video. But how did electricity go from a natural phenomenon to one of humanity's most transformative inventions? Let's explore. Electricity has always existed in nature. Think lightning or the static charge you feel when you touch a doorknob. But understanding and harnessing it was a long journey. The ancient Greeks were among the first to study static electricity, noting how amber could attract small objects when rubbed. Fast forward to the 18th century, and pioneers like Benjamin Franklin began exploring electricity as a scientific concept. Franklin's famous kite experiment in 1752 showed that lightning was a form of electrical energy, laying the groundwork for future discoveries. The true breakthrough came in the 19th century. Scientists like Michael Faraday and James Clerk Maxwell developed the principles of electromagnetism, demonstrating how electricity could be generated, stored, and transmitted. Faraday's invention of the electric dynamo, the precursor to the modern generator, was a game-changer, providing a reliable way to produce electricity on demand. So, why is electricity so important? Unlike other inventions on this list, electricity isn't a single device. It's a foundation for countless technologies. Once we learned to generate and distribute electricity, the possibilities became endless. Factories could operate machinery, homes could be lit at night, and communication technologies like the telegraph and telephone became practical. Let's pause for a moment. Can you imagine a single day without electricity? No lights, no internet, no refrigeration. It's hard to overstate its importance in our daily lives. Electricity powers our hospitals, our schools, and even our transportation systems. It's the lifeblood of modern civilization. The late 19th and early 20th centuries saw the rapid expansion of electrical grids, bringing power to cities and towns around the world. Inventors like Thomas Edison and Nikola Tesla played pivotal roles during this period. Edison's invention of the incandescent light bulb revolutionized indoor lighting, while Tesla's work on alternating current, AC, made it possible to transmit electricity over long distances, making it accessible to more people. Electricity didn't just transform industry and technology, it changed how we live. It gave rise to new forms of entertainment, like radio, television, and later, the Internet. It also revolutionized science and medicine, enabling the development of advanced technologies like X-rays, MRIs, and life-saving medical equipment. Of course, electricity also comes with challenges. Its generation and use have environmental impacts, particularly when sourced from fossil fuels. However, the rise of renewable energy technologies like solar and wind power is paving the way for a more sustainable future. So, why does electricity deserve its place on this list? It's not just an invention, it's the foundation of modern life. It powers our homes, fuels our industries, and connects us to the world. Without it, the advancements of the last 2 centuries would have been impossible. And that's why electricity earns the 6th spot on our list. Up next is number 5, where yet another life-changing invention awaits exploration. Fifth on our list is the printing press, an invention that revolutionized how knowledge was shared and spread, shaping the course of human history. Before the printing press, information traveled slowly, often confined to handwritten manuscripts that were labor-intensive to produce and accessible only to the elite. The printing press changed all of that, democratizing knowledge and sparking revolutions in science, religion, and society. The printing press was invented by Johannes Gutenberg in the mid-15th century. Gutenberg's breakthrough wasn't just the press itself, it was his development of movable type. Unlike earlier printing methods that relied on carved blocks for entire pages, movable type allowed individual letters to be arranged and reused, making the printing process faster, cheaper, and more efficient. One of the first major works printed using Gutenberg's press was the Gutenberg Bible, completed around 1455. This marked the beginning of a new era in which books and written knowledge became more widely available. Previously, a single handwritten book could take months or even years to produce. With the printing press, multiple copies could be made in a fraction of the time. But why is the printing press so important? Imagine a world where only a tiny fraction of the population had access to books or education. The printing press changed that, enabling the spread of ideas on an unprecedented scale. It fueled the Renaissance by making classical texts available to scholars across Europe. It also played a key role in the Reformation, as Martin Luther's writings were printed and distributed widely, challenging the authority of the Catholic Church. The printing press didn't just change Europe, it transformed the world. In the centuries that followed, printing technology spread to Asia, the Americas, and beyond, becoming a catalyst for cultural exchange. Knowledge that had been confined to one region or culture could now travel across continents, connecting people and ideas like never before. Think about the impact on science. The printing press allowed scientists to share their discoveries and build upon each other's work. Copernicus, Galileo, and Newton all benefited from this new ability to disseminate knowledge quickly and widely. Without the printing press, the scientific revolution might never have happened. The printing press also gave rise to newspapers and magazines, creating the modern concept of mass communication. For the first time, people could stay informed about events beyond their immediate surroundings, fostering a sense of global awareness. Of course, like any powerful technology, the printing press had its challenges. It was used not only to spread knowledge but also to propagate misinformation and political propaganda. However, its overall impact has been overwhelmingly positive, empowering individuals and transforming societies. So, why does the printing press earn its place on this list? It wasn't just an invention, it was a revolution. It made knowledge accessible, connected the world, and laid the foundation for the modern information age. And that's why the printing press takes the 5th spot on our list. Up next is number 4, where yet another transformative invention awaits exploration. Fourth on our list is agriculture, the foundation of human civilization. Before the advent of farming, humanity survived as nomadic hunter-gatherers, moving from place to place in search of food. Agriculture changed everything, allowing people to settle, build communities, and create the first cities. It was the single most important shift in human history, laying the groundwork for the societies we live in today. Agriculture began around 10,000 years ago during the Neolithic Revolution. Early humans discovered that they could plant seeds, grow crops, and domesticate animals, providing a stable food supply. This simple realization transformed humanity's relationship with nature, turning humans from foragers into cultivators. But why was agriculture so revolutionary? First, it allowed for food surpluses. For the first time, communities could produce more food than they needed for immediate survival. This surplus meant not everyone had to farm, freeing people to specialize in other tasks like tool-making, building, and eventually governing. It also led to trade, as surplus food could be exchanged for goods and services. Agriculture also changed how humans interacted with the land. Before farming, people moved to where food was available. With agriculture, they shaped the environment to meet their needs, clearing forests, building irrigation systems, and domesticating plants and animals. Crops like wheat, rice, and maize became staples, while animals like cattle and sheep provided not only food but also labor and materials like wool and leather. But let me ask you this: could cities, governments, or civilizations exist without agriculture? The answer is no. Farming created the conditions necessary for large, settled populations. With more people living in one place, societies developed laws, hierarchies, and infrastructure. Writing systems were invented to keep track of crops and trade, marking the beginning of recorded history. Agriculture also had profound cultural impacts. Festivals and rituals often revolved around planting and harvest cycles, and myths and religions reflected humanity's deep connection to the land. The stories of gods and goddesses tied to fertility and the seasons can be traced back to this agricultural foundation. Of course, agriculture wasn't without its challenges. Early farming communities were vulnerable to natural disasters, like droughts and floods, which could devastate crops. Farming also introduced new social inequalities, as some individuals or groups controlled more land and resources than others. Over time, these disparities gave rise to class systems and even conflict. Fast forward to today, and agriculture remains a cornerstone of human survival. Modern farming techniques, from mechanization to genetic engineering, have increased food production dramatically, enabling the world to support a population of billions. Yet, the challenges of sustainability and environmental impact remind us of the delicate balance between humanity and the land. So, why does agriculture deserve its place on this list? It wasn't just an invention, it was a transformation. Agriculture allowed humans to settle, innovate, and build the foundations of civilization. Without it, the story of humanity would look very different. And that's why agriculture takes the fourth spot on our list. Up next is number 3, where yet another groundbreaking invention awaits exploration. Third on our list is antibiotics, one of the most life-saving and transformative inventions in human history. Imagine a world where a simple cut could lead to a deadly infection, where diseases like pneumonia or tuberculosis were almost always fatal. That was the reality before antibiotics, a world where even minor injuries or illnesses could become a death sentence. The story of antibiotics begins in 1928, when Alexander Fleming, a Scottish bacteriologist, made a groundbreaking discovery. While studying Staphylococcus bacteria, he noticed that a mold called Penicillium notatum had killed the surrounding bacteria in one of his petri dishes. This accidental observation led to the development of penicillin, the world's first antibiotic. But Fleming didn't work alone. It took over a decade of effort by scientists like Howard Florey and Ernst Boris Chain to turn penicillin into a usable drug. By the early 1940s, penicillin was being mass-produced, just in time to save countless lives during World War II. Soldiers who might have died from infected wounds or diseases were now surviving, thanks to this miracle drug. So, why are antibiotics so important? For one, they've saved millions, if not billions, of lives. Before antibiotics, bacterial infections like pneumonia, syphilis, and tuberculosis were leading causes of death. Antibiotics turned these once deadly diseases into treatable conditions, extending life expectancy and improving quality of life worldwide. Antibiotics didn't just revolutionize medicine, they also transformed surgery. Before their discovery, even routine operations carried a high risk of deadly infections. Antibiotics made it possible to perform complex procedures, from organ transplants to joint replacements, with much greater safety. Think about this. Without antibiotics, modern medicine as we know it wouldn't exist. Chemotherapy, which suppresses the immune system, would be far riskier. Premature babies, who are highly vulnerable to infections, would have a much lower survival rate. Even something as common as a dental procedure could become dangerous. But let's not forget the challenges. The overuse and misuse of antibiotics have led to a growing problem: antibiotic resistance. Bacteria are evolving to resist the drugs designed to kill them, creating strains that are harder and sometimes impossible to treat. This global health crisis reminds us that antibiotics, while life-saving, are not a limitless resource. Despite these challenges, antibiotics remain one of the most important inventions in history. They've saved countless lives, transformed healthcare, and allowed us to tackle diseases that once seemed unbeatable. So, why does antibiotics deserve the third spot on this list? It's simple. They changed the way we fight disease, giving humanity a powerful tool to combat some of its deadliest foes. And that's why antibiotics take their place as number 3 on our list. Up next is number 2, where another transformative invention awaits exploration. Second on our list is the Internet, a revolutionary invention that has fundamentally reshaped how we communicate, learn, work, and live. Imagine a world without the Internet. No instant messaging, no online shopping, no access to the vast pool of information we take for granted today. The Internet didn't just connect computers, it connected humanity. The Internet as we know it began in the late 20th century, but its roots can be traced back to the 1960s. ARPANET, a project funded by the U.S. Department of Defense, was the first network to allow computers to share data over long distances. This early version of the Internet was created for researchers and military use, but its potential for transforming communication was clear from the start. The real breakthrough came in the 1990s with the creation of the World Wide Web by Tim Berners-Lee. The web made the Internet accessible to the general public by allowing users to navigate through websites using browsers. Suddenly, the Internet wasn't just for academics or governments, it was for everyone. By the end of the decade, millions of people were online, and the world was forever changed. So, why is the Internet so important? For one, it democratized access to information. Before the Internet, knowledge was often confined to libraries, institutions, or those with specific privileges. The Internet broke down those barriers, making information available to anyone with a connection. From online courses to YouTube tutorials, the Internet has become the greatest teacher humanity has ever known. The Internet also transformed how we communicate. Emails replaced letters, video calls bridged distances, and social media created entirely new ways of connecting. Families separated by oceans could now see and talk to each other in real time. Businesses could collaborate across continents, and friendships could form between people who had never met in person. Economically, the Internet has been a game changer. It gave rise to e-commerce, enabling businesses like Amazon, Alibaba, and countless others to thrive. It allowed freelancers, remote workers, and small businesses to reach global audiences. The digital economy, driven by the Internet, is now one of the most significant sectors in the world. But the Internet isn't just about work or learning, it's also about entertainment and creativity. Streaming platforms, gaming, online communities, and digital art have all flourished thanks to the Internet. It's a place where anyone can share their voice, their talents, and their ideas with the world. Of course, the Internet comes with its challenges. Issues like misinformation, cybercrime, and the digital divide highlight the need for responsible use and equitable access. Despite these challenges, the Internet's positive impact on society far outweighs its drawbacks. So, why does the Internet earn its place as number 2 on this list? It's not just an invention, it's a revolution. The Internet has connected the world, accelerated progress, and empowered billions. It's a tool that has transformed every aspect of human life. And that's why the Internet takes the second spot on our list. Up next is number 1, the most fundamental and transformative invention in human history. First on our list is fire, the most fundamental and transformative invention in human history. Fire wasn't just an invention, it was a discovery, one that changed the trajectory of our species forever. Imagine a world without fire. No cooked food, no warmth on cold nights, no light in the darkness. Fire was the spark that ignited civilization. The story of fire begins millions of years ago, long before written history. Early humans likely encountered fire from natural sources like lightning strikes or volcanic eruptions. At first, they feared it, but over time, they learned to control it. Archaeological evidence suggests that Homo erectus was among the first to use fire, more than 1 million years ago. By mastering fire, early humans gained a powerful tool that set them apart from all other species. But why is fire so important? Let's start with food. Cooking made food easier to digest, unlocking more nutrients and calories. This simple act may have played a key role in the evolution of the human brain, giving us the energy needed to develop higher cognitive functions. Fire also allowed humans to eat a wider variety of foods, reducing the risk of starvation. Fire wasn't just about survival, it was also about community. Early humans gathered around campfires for warmth and protection, creating spaces where they could share stories, teach each other, and form stronger social bonds. The fire became the heart of early human communities, symbolizing safety and unity. Let me ask you this: can you imagine exploring the cold, dark corners of the world without fire? Fire made it possible for humans to migrate to colder climates, expanding their range and allowing them to adapt to new environments. It provided warmth in freezing temperatures and kept predators at bay, giving humans a significant advantage over other species. Fire also revolutionized technology. It enabled humans to create tools and weapons by hardening wooden spears or smelting metals like bronze and iron. These advancements laid the foundation for entire eras of human history, from the Bronze Age to the Iron Age. Without fire, none of these technological leaps would have been possible. Culturally, fire has always held a special place in human societies. It's a symbol of life, transformation, and even the divine. From the eternal flames of ancient temples to the candles we light today, fire connects us to our past and to each other in profound ways. But fire is a double-edged sword. While it has been a tool for creation, it has also been a force of destruction. Forest fires, accidental blazes, and its use in warfare remind us of fire's power and the responsibility that comes with wielding it. Fast forward to today, and fire's legacy is everywhere. The combustion engine, the electricity we generate from burning fossil fuels, and even the fireworks we use to celebrate. All of these trace their origins back to humanity's first mastery of fire. It's a testament to how one discovery can shape an entire species. So, why does fire earn the top spot on this list? It's not just about its utility, it's about its foundational role in human development. Fire was the first step on the long journey of invention and innovation. It gave us the tools to survive, thrive, and build the world we live in today. And that's why fire takes its place as number one on our list of the most important inventions in history. There you have it, our journey through the top 10 most important inventions in history. From fire, which sparked the beginning of civilization, to the Internet, which connects us in ways once unimaginable, each of these inventions has shaped the world we live in today. But what about you? Which invention do you think is the most important? Is there one you believe should have been on the list? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another fascinating dive into history. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.